The key question of the Ascent of Humanity is, can the gift of technology and culture be separated from the curse? The curse is in evidence all around us. The destruction of the environment, the unraveling of traditional cultures, of all that is good and beautiful, the crises that are converging in every area, not just the environment, but finance, the economy, energy, medicine, education, the political system. All of these things are happening all at once, and something in us says that it's not supposed to be this way, that all of the beautiful and miraculous and amazing things that human beings have created through technology and through culture, all of the literature, all of the art, the science, that these don't have to come at the price of the destruction of the human spirit and the planet. It doesn't have to be this way. Something in us says that a more beautiful world is possible, that doesn't require going back to the Stone Age. But how can we get there? That's the question that I've been thinking about for a long time, and I must admit that there were many times where I did go into the depths of despair and believed, it's just all a big mistake. And there are certainly books that speak to that viewpoint, books by people like Derek Jensen or John Zerzan, Daniel Quinn perhaps, that say, we've just gone on the wrong track, starting with agriculture. But something in me, when I look at a beautiful symphony or movie or the complexity of a microchip or the New York City skyline, I think it couldn't just all be a big mistake. This has got to be happening for some kind of purpose. So that leads to the question, can the gift be separated from the curse? Sometimes little voices tell me that everything's fine, that I'm just imagining things, that it couldn't be that bad. Because if it were that bad, then why isn't everybody worried about it? Why isn't everybody in an uproar? It's like if the house is burning down, then you're not interested in sports or celebrity news or most of the other things that people talk about on a daily basis. And the fact that everybody almost is interested in these things tells you in a kind of a subconscious way that everything must be fine around here. And the problem, if you don't believe that, if you think that something's wrong, then the problem is with you. Fortunately, I, and probably many of you, have had experiences that tell you otherwise, that tell you that what is considered normal and good enough is not normal, that a potential exists for a life that's much richer, much more joyful, more blissful, more intense, more intensely alive than the lives that are offered us as normal, and not just on the personal level, but on the collective level too, that a more beautiful world is possible. You may have experienced this participating in some kind of event or project where you identify with something greater than yourself and find that your participation makes you more and not less. Everybody knows that a more beautiful world is possible. We know it in our hearts, even when our minds say that it's not. This is what has inspired utopians for thousands of years. So the purpose of this book is to speak to that knowing, to speak maybe not so much to the mind, which says, how could things ever be any different, but to the heart, which knows that something tremendous is supposed to happen in our lives and also on the collective level. This book traces all of the wrongness that we see around us, all of the ugliness that we have created, the curse of technology and culture, traces it all to a common source, a deep root, which I call separation. This separation generates crises that are peaking and converging all together in our time. These crises are also a birth crisis. Collectively, they are propelling us into a new era where The age of separation will have ended. We will see ourselves in the world completely differently. We will see ourselves no longer as separate beings, skin-encapsulated egos, competing with each other in an external world for a finite amount of resources, living in scarcity. We won't see ourselves like that anymore. We will see ourselves as connected, not just as a concept, but as a felt experience. And that's why I call it the Age of Reunion. And the Age of Reunion will include a transformation in every human institution. Everything from science, technology, to money, to energy, to medicine, to education, everything that human beings do, all of the components of culture will change in accordance with the shift in our sense of self. So welcome to the Ascent of Humanity.